Hello and welcome to the $1 Million Message. This is your Fearless Friday message with Callie DeBlander Brigham, calling from beautiful Pensacola Beach, Florida. Thank you so much to Tiffany Stout, the original founder of the $1 Million Message 10 years ago, who filled in for me last Friday when I was still in Dallas, Texas. I was spending time with Magnanimous Monday, Crystal. I was actually at her home, and also my Offspring sales director, Sarah, there, as well as some beautiful top sales directors who really just needed the collaboration, the heart connection, the sharing of ideas and visions that I know that we have been able to do in many ways virtually, but sometimes, if possible, and I know it's not possible for everyone, being in person, the energy there, it's something I know that many of us have missed in these past 10 months or so, and we've done our best, right? But in this scenario, we were able to be together for a couple of days and just spend time together in a friend way and also an iron sharpens iron way too. And I'm going to share a couple things from that with you. But before I do, 2 words, rocking my world. Clinical solutions. So I'm recording this message early on Friday morning, the 22nd. And you may want to just, consultants, keep an eye out on In Touch today. Is all I'm going to say. And your emails too. But if you have not just taken a deep dive into what Mary Kay In Touch has for you on clinical solutions, stop, drop, and roll straight to In Touch and take advantage of that. Just launched a day or so ago is a new clinical solutions module. So it's right on your home screen, on your news feed. Everything is under Product Central. It has its own little section, but this is going to be available for you to continue to increase your own knowledge and education. And let me also say, one thing I've enjoyed doing is doing some research outside of In Touch. I want to know things like why specifically should we not be introducing retinol and our vitamin C plus E serum at the same time. It's kind of like a power struggle. These 2 powerhouses, one of them wants to be the leader. So I did some research on that. Or what is retinization? And what does it have to do with preparing someone for what this process is going to look like? Not just with Mary Kay's retinol, but in general. This was important for me so that I could really feel like I am well-rounded in what these products are and who specifically they're for. They're not for everyone, but right now I know we are prioritizing getting women consistent on a good skincare routine, ourselves included. You see, it's kind of like if we don't, it would be like trying to put Crest white strips on, but you're not brushing your teeth. Like, come on, what's the point, right? So we want to make sure that we are prepared, as we've been talking about, and oh my goodness, just make sure you've got In Touch on the brain, okay? So I'm excited about that for all of us, and what's to come. It's just revolutionary, isn't it? And who knew what this would bring this new year. And so excited because I'm calling it 2021, W-O-N. The win is in the mind. And, one other thing I want to say about that, too, before I share a few things from our event, the win is in the mind. Many of us have chosen our word for the year or our intention or our goals. Or 2 weeks ago, I talked about a digital vision board that I've created that I really had to, again, dig deep for because I'd been in, I guess, a survival mode since last March. And it was really difficult to allow myself the permission, the openness, the deep breath that it takes to start dreaming, right? So putting those things in front of myself, thinking about them, sharing them with people. Well, I just want to tell you what was so interesting that happened. So I've been vocal with my friends, with my team, with you all about my word for the year and sharing that and communicating that. And isn't it interesting that what we put our attention on, all of a sudden, it grows and we see it, good or bad, right? So if we're looking for something negative or we're feeling negative, whether it's things that are going on in our world or personal, it just seems to be magnified. We see it everywhere. Things confirm it for us, but the good too. So I can't tell you how many people with my word of the year, light, keep sending me things. Like the verse of the day today is about being the light of the world. And people have said that to me. So a girlfriend of mine, actually Magnanimous Monday, Crystal, was on a social media page that was all about inspiration. And all three things in a row as she scrolled were all my words and intentions. And she sent them to me. She's like, this is crazy. I just saw this and I thought of you. And I said back to her, not only am I seeing it out in the world, my word, my goal, my dream, I'm seeing it everywhere. But when I share it with enough people, they start seeing it for me too. I want you to just think about that for a minute. Whatever you're putting out there, verbally, in your actions, in your feelings, not only are you going to see more of it, but other people are going to see that too. It's going to attract them, but it's positive or negative. So if you're feeling like you're in this cycle that everybody is saying no or everybody's saying yes, I just want you to know that it's because it's what you're expecting. So guess what? The beautiful news of that is you can at any point change whatever it is that you're wanting your own self to see and you're wanting other people to see. I just thought that was fascinating. Okay, so each one of us came to the table, so to speak, last week with our own training, things that are working for us. And I could spell them out for you, but honestly, they were specific to that person. Now, I could definitely glean something from each director that was there. But I think the most beautiful thing that I heard was they have figured out what works for them in this season by trial and error. As a matter of fact, one of the top sales directors there, Shauna Abbott, was telling me later one-on-one that it's easy to pivot away from something that's not your strength right now. So why don't you try it? You could try it. And if you don't like it, you easily pivot away if it's not for you. But if it is, then you've discovered something that you're loving doing in this season. So again, I'm not going to necessarily go through each person and tell you that, because what I saw overall was that they tried enough things this past year to settle on the skill, the strength that best served them. What I do want to share with you were a few words from the national sales directors that we got to be part of. Thank you, Crystal, for giving us access to your sister and your mom. National Sales Director Kimberly Copeland and National Sales Director Emeritus Scarlett Walker-Simpson. And we were able to literally sit at their feet, which is such a privilege now, especially, again, because we're not all connected in the same way that we were when we got to go to events. And so what an honor it was. A few things that Kimberly said. We've only just begun again. Here we are 50 plus, almost 60 years into this Mary Kay opportunity, and it's fresh. It's fresh. We're just getting started. We're just figuring things out. She said it doesn't matter what you have. It's what you're willing to do with what you have. Think about that one for a minute. She also said, do things when you're in the excitement mode. In other words, after you listen to this call, get off and do something, right? Don't wait till the feeling passes. Do something. Do some texts or calls or take action. She also said, don't let anyone put you in their box. I'm a firm believer that in this pandemic season, that anything is possible, and now's the time to try. She said, everyone's promise, that was the name of our event, promise. Everyone's promise is different. God put yours in you Don't let anyone else's story dictate yours. She also said, and this really resonates with what I shared with you a minute ago, whatever you believe, yes or no, you're right. You're right. She shared with us that it's important that we become and then some people. I love the story of David Livingstone, the missionary to Africa. And as he got there, he realized he needed help. He needed help in his mission. And so he didn't call back. I'm sure he telegrammed or whatever, wrote letters back and said that he needed help. And, kind of explain the situation. And they responded, absolutely. Once some roads are built, or we'll get some people to build roads, or, we have to do that first, and then we can send help. And he said, no, I don't need you then. He said, we need people to come where there are no roads. And again, I kind of feel like that's our life right now, right? There's not an exact plan on how to work our business right now, but that's why we need you. That's why we need you. She said, have a mindset of what am I fighting for? Blaze your own trail, honor your past, and celebrate where you are now. And the last thing I wanted to share from her was, do what you have to do now so you can walk into easy. So good. And then we heard from Scarlett. And oh my goodness, it was all about really our faith walk, our spiritual journey. She said something that I loved. She said, we all have the fruits of the Spirit as believers. They just may still be seeds, right? But we can grow them. We can absolutely grow them. And she said, it's not what am I doing in 2021, but what does God have for me in 2021? And the last thing I wanted to share from her that I thought was so beautiful is she said, if you want to move to the next level, and I know you all do, you wouldn't be calling in if you didn't. 3 things to do. Number 1, think differently. Boy, that again resonates with what am I thinking about, right? What am I putting inside of me? What am I allowing to take root and grow? What am I watering, right? All of those things that I'm putting out there. Number 2, we need to do differently, right? So we think first, and then our actions follow. And then number 3, sometimes we just need to let go. And she gave us some beautiful analogies of that we only have so much room. We only have so much room. So we might need to let some things go so that there's room for new. And she gave us some personal examples that I'll just leave in her living room because they were personal to her. So I don't know if it's something small or something big, but that's what we need to do to go to the next level. So I know my call is a little bit of a popcorn call, right? A little bit of this, a little bit of that. So to recap, pay attention to Mary Kay in Touch. Ooh, get excited about clinical solutions. Next, think about what you're thinking about and putting out there because it's going to grow. Be careful. Be careful. Be intentional. And then the lessons learned from those national sales directors. So I know we can't all collaborate in person, but I wanted to share with you a little bit about that. I hope that you have the most blessed Friday, Saturday, Sunday this weekend, and I hope that you take action on the words that you're hearing. Make it a great day. Bye-bye.